What is up, YouTube? It is ZetaTCG here for my first deck profile video. And this deck profile we are going to be doing is one of my favorite decks in the game right now, and that is Cyber Dragons. I've always ran Cyber Dragons. I've always tried to run Cyber Dragons efficiently, and I figured I would try to show, or I would show you guys what I have in my deck, and I'm always open to any like comments or suggestions in the comments below. Please be sure to go there and tell me what you guys think, if there's any improvements I can make, anything like that, anything constructive. So please do that. Now I will say this to start off, this is a 50 card Cyber Dragon deck, and I also base my extra deck around fusions. Okay, so that's how I built this deck around, and so far it's been really good. So let me go ahead and show you guys the deck so far. So now, basics, we have 3 Cyber Dragons. Pretty simple, straightforward. This deck is called a Cyber Dragon deck. That's why we have 3 Cyber Dragons, right? So, pretty straightforward on there. Next, we have 3 Cyber Dragon Dry. Now, as I said, I'm just trying to base this deck around fusions, and so I need to have as many Cyber Dragons or machine-type monsters as I can in my deck. But a cool effect from Dry is that if it's normal summoned, you can make all machine-type monsters that you control in the field level 5, so you can go into a rank 5 Xyz like that. So, next, 3 Cyber Dragon Core. Core is often noted as the Stratos for Cyber Dragons, because you can search out a cyber spell or trap. And that even includes cybernetic spells, like one card, Cybernetic Fusion Support, which is an OCG card that I'm currently waiting to come out in TCG. So you can search out cyber spells or traps, and if this card is in your grave and you control no monsters, you can banish it to special summon a Cyber Dragon from your deck. So I think that's a pretty solid effect. Next, we have 3 Cyber Valley. Pretty straightforward on what Cyber Valley does. Cyber Valley is a great card to have on the field, and whenever it's targeted for attack, you can banish it, end the battle phase, and then draw a card. That's its first effect it has. And then my next 3, I have 3 Cyber Dragons Y. Once again, I'm just trying to get as many Cyber Dragons as I can out in the field so I can fusion summon or even Xyz summon if I have Dry in my hand. Next, 3 Proto Cyber Dragons. This card is always treated as Cyber Dragon whenever it's on the field. So you can't go Polymerization, 1 Cyber Dragon, and then Proto. You have to first normal summon Proto to get its effect, for it to become Cyber Dragon. So those are what I have for my just plain Cyber Dragons. Next, I have 1 Cyber Phoenix, and then I have 1 Honest, because all but the 1 card, and that was Cyber Phoenix, all of them are light attributes, so it's good to have Honest in the deck. Next, I'll go to my magic cards, or spell cards. 2 Polymerization, 2 Overload Fusion. Overload Fusion will be the GOAT spell card in this deck. Okay, this is the fusion card you want to have opening hand, or actually more like your third, fourth draw if possible. Next, we have 2 Repair Plant. Repair Plant can be searched through Core's effect, and that's always a good thing. And next, we have 1 Power Bond, 1 Battle Fusion, 1 Defusion, 1 Fusion Recovery, 1 Dimension Explosion, one Refusion, one MST, and then for limited cards we have a Burial from a Different Dimension, a Gold Sark, Limited Removal, and Assault Charge. Okay, next guys, on to my traps. I go 3 Mirror Force, mainly because there's not a lot of cards in this deck that can just simply destroy monsters, so you need to have a card like Mirror Force that can destroy a monster or your opponent's monsters whenever they attack. So next we have 2 of the Transmigration Prophecy. The Transmigration Prophecy is a good card to have. I'm a guy who believes that it's better to be safe than sorry. So it's always good to have 2 of these in case if you're running low on cards in your deck, or if you need a card in your deck. So yeah. Next we have 2 Call Haunted, just to bring out some other monsters out on the field. Next I have 1 Cyber Network that can be searched through core, 1 Dark Bribe, 1 Fusion Guard, 1 Paradox Fusion, 1 Compulsory, and 1 Bottomless. Okay, so that does it for traps. I will now move on to my extra deck, and as I said earlier, I'm a guy who believes in better safe than sorry, and that surely reflects in my extra deck. 3 Cyber End Dragons. Cyber End is a great fusion to go to whenever you can, especially if you're going up against Shaddolls, whenever Shaddolls have their set monsters on the field. So, and then next we have 3 Cyber Twin. Cyber Twin is the card you want to go to the most whenever you have Power Bond in your hand, because whenever you get Cyber Twin to get 5600 attack, and it can attack twice, that's game. Okay, unless if your opponent has like a 4000 beater or like a 3000 beater. Okay, so keep that in mind. Next, 3 Chimera Tech Overdragon. This is the card you want to go to whenever you have Overload Fusion going. Okay, Overload Fusion, if you don't know what it does, I didn't say this earlier, you can banish from your field or your graveyard the fusion material monsters that are needed to fusion summon 1 dark machine type monster, and that's what Chimera Tech Overdragon is, a dark machine type. So if I banish, let's just say 5 fusion materials, then I can attack 5 times, and then on top of that, its attack becomes 4000 because it gains 800 attack for every material. Next, 3 Chimera Tech Fortress. I am thinking about replacing or taking out 1 Fortress and replacing it with a Parapsychroid, because Parapsychroid can attack your opponent directly, and if you power bond Parapsychroid, it's 13 or it's 3200. But still, I'm still thinking about it. Chimera Tech Fortress is a great card because you can contact fusion it and use your opponent's monsters on their side of the field as well. So if they have a machine type on the field, then you can snatch it with Fortress. Okay, and then for the remaining, for my extra, I have 1 Blue Eyes Ultimate, and then I have 2 Cyber Dragon Novas. So that concludes my extra deck, and I will get into my side deck. In my side deck, I have 1 Cyber Laser and 1 Cyber Barrier. Barrier can negate an attack once per turn if it's in attack position, and Laser can destroy 1 monster that has a higher attack than its own, which was 2400, I believe. So yeah, next we move on to traps already. 2 Cyber Network. We only have 1 in the main deck, so let's go ahead and add 2 more in the side deck just in case. It's a great card overall too. Next I have 1 Attack Reflector unit because we do have Barrier, and then 1 Royal Decree because we do not run a lot of traps in this deck, and if your opponent does go Vanities on you, it's good to have Decree in your side deck to counter that, okay? Because this deck is based around special summoning. What deck isn't, you know? Maybe Exodia or like a Final Countdown, if anybody still does that. But next we have 1 Power Bond, 1 Battle Fusion, 1 Flash Fusion. Flash Fusion is my replacement for Super Polymerization until Super Polymerization comes back. Okay. Let me get that fixed up for you guys. There, here we go. 1 Overload Fusion, 1 Cyber Repair Plant, another Defusion, 1 Fusion Substitute. Now, I want to make a quick note. You can only have 1 Fusion Sub in your side deck if you have 2 Polymerization in your main deck, because Fusion Sub is treated as Polymerization. So keep that in mind. Next, 1 Miracle Dick and 1 Photon Generator Unit. So yeah, that is it for my Cyber Dragon deck. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Please offer up any improvements I can make into this deck. Please, I'm always open to anything. I accept constructive criticism very well, and yeah. So, and I also want to say that I will have a part 2 video to this, and in the second part it will be a discussion, answering some questions and such. So please stay tuned for that as well. It should be up hopefully the day after I post this video, which is what I'm going to do right after I'm done recording this. So also follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is @ZetaTCG, and if you ever want to do me on Dueling Network, my Dueling Network username is ZetaYugi, and all this will be in the description below. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. This is ZetaTCG signing out.